Well, here we go. Oh, that worked pretty well. Well, here we go. Look at that. Oh yeah, we got this. Yo, what's up YouTube? It's Zan. We're back. We're in the garage, and we are currently working on the ZX-10R, and this is a part of the day of something new I get to do that I've never done before. We're going to hone this cylinder head out. It actually looks pretty darn good in here. It's pretty clean. Whoever disassembled this actually must have oiled the inside of this, and honestly, it looks like it might have been honed already once. Like, it looks like there's already a cross hatching pattern in these, but I don't know that, so I'm going to re-hone it just a bit. We've measured them. Everything's meets spec. I'm just going to hone them out. First thing, I got to clean up the head a bit, and I got to get a different rag. I'm just cleaning out the cylinders of this one, but I got an oily rag, wipe down the cylinders before I do it. And I'm going to use my honing tool, voila, on my drill, and we are going to go to town on this thing. Oh well, let's hone off. And go to town, I mean, we're going to just try to improve on it. Get that crosshatch pattern back in there a little better. I used... What am I looking for here? I forgot what I was looking for. Did it again. I used the old head already to do a test run on. And just to make sure I got the speed down on it. And I did a pretty darn good job, if I do say so myself. I got a lot of the... that cylinder is very glossy, and I ended up getting a good crosshatch pattern in it, like second try. So I'm confident in my abilities here. Now what I'm using here is a little brass scraper for getting gasket material off. So try to get as much off as possible before we do this, and clean this block up before we assemble anything. Should be pretty easy. So yeah, and then we're on the reassembly side of things. We got all the parts that I think we need in. I know we were waiting on some piston rings; those came in. We were waiting on some bolts that we destroyed coming out of the engine, because in the manual it says put non-permanent Loctite on it, and then of course don't the bolts come with red Loctite on them? So the owner of this block actually stripped the first one, and I was like, we're better than them, we're not going to strip ours. And then I tried to take his second one out and strip the hell out of it, and then I tried to take one out of our old block and stripped it, and I was like, what the heck? So finally heated up the third one, or the fourth one, and I stripped that one and then I ended up drilling all of them out, then only to find that they come with red Loctite, and I just didn't apply enough heat apparently to the fourth one. Even with an impact and heat, it did not come out. So that was not fun. That was not a fun find. That cost us another $8. Whoop-de-doo. But we are on the mend now for this, and it is looking good. Okay, we are back. I've cleaned the rest of the gasket off best I can. I used my scraper, got a lot off, and then I used a die grinder, a very fine brush on it, the little plastic wheel basically, and just got the rest of it off. I mean, we're still gonna have to clean this head up a little bit before we can put it on, but we'll get there. Right now, I'm going to put some oil on this rag, and we're gonna prep a cylinder for honing. Now, like I've said, I haven't done this a lot. I did it on the test piece. That's about it. So whether this comes out right or wrong, we're going to find out, and it should be right enough. The cylinder already looks like it's cross-hatched, and I'm just going to kind of give it a cleanup. That's really all I'm doing. So I've got my tool here. This thing's tight. Put it in, and we're going to go. So what the thing said to do was start. Oh, damn, that worked really well. I don't know if you guys can see that, but got some good cross hatching in there. I'm not sure if I can get that much better. Okay, let's send her in again. Now they said do 30 up and down, 30 up and down, and check it. I probably shouldn't be touching those too much because I'll get stuff on them, but we'll check it. And then I have to get a bucket still. All right, that cylinder's looking pretty good. I can see the markings going up and down. So I'm liking that one so far, but I have to clean that bit off. So what they said to do was put soap and water in a bucket and spin the brush in there, and it'll all come off. So I gotta grab all of it. And it's raining, so we'll just spin it outside. So I'm gonna do the other ones, and we'll come back. All right, we've got all 4 cylinders honed out. I don't know if you can see it. I mean, it's tough to see as it is, but we've got a cross-hatch pattern in there. They're not perfect, but I've done what I would call a decent damn job. Super good enough? That's a good term. What I'm going to do now is I already cleaned these out once. I'm just going to wipe them down with oil just to keep them from rusting at all. And then we're on to the next step, which is... I actually don't know what the next step is. This is just a step I wanted to get done today. Oof, there's still a lot of debris and stuff in here, so... This is going to go through another cleaning too, but we're going to just get some oil on these. Whew, man, okay. Guess I didn't wipe out as much as I thought with that last rag. Okay, well, we're cleaning and oiling at the same time, so it's going to be okay. I think. I hope. Should wipe down the top too, get anything off the top of it, which there's even more up here. Jesus. Little filings everywhere. Nice. Cool. We're going to wash this cylinder, this head down. Here you feel it. Some soapy water or something. Cool. So yeah, that's going to be it. Now this way we can just get working on this. We don't have to worry about doing that part before we put everything else on it, like the hoses, the bolts and everything. So now we can really start assembling. First thing we'll do is we'll take our drill and a zip tie, once we find one, and we'll put our... Ooh, my honing tool just kind of came apart in my hand. What just happened? Oh. Uh-oh. I think we broke it, folks. There we go. Guess this top, why does it look bent now? Anyways, whatever. Looks a little twisted. Oh, there you go. Okay, so it's back together. I was going to take a zip tie and just put it around these the way it came from the factory. I cleaned this already. And okay, there's still there's a lot of stuff on this. Way too big of a zip tie. Probably way too small of a zip tie. Probably. Where are all my medium zip ties? There you go, zip tied up. Go back in the drawer until next time. Here we go. Yeah, next step is we're going to work on the bottom end some more. Bottom end of this system. What do we have to do? We have to mount... I have to clean first and then get gaskets for and mount this coolant pump, water pump. It's coolant though, it's not water. So we're going to mount this. There's some piece that goes through here that mounts to somewhere else, but we got to do all that mounting still. I guess the first thing we should do is rotate this and get it upright. This is the correct one, right? There you go. Fall those back down. Nope. Come on. Must be in gear for something. Okay. This is going to mount right in here. There's some gasket material on here. I know this goes in slightly like this somehow. And wham, it'll slam in there. But this thing needs a good cleaning too. And we have a new O-ring for it somewhere. Oh, it's just grease. It's coming right off. But I want to clean up all the parts we put on this bike as we go. Like, I mean, I already cleaned up a whole bunch, but we're going to get a little toothbrush in here and do a little craziness. Oh yeah, the bolts are just in here enough so they don't fall out. But the internals of everything looked good, so that's a good start. Right, so here we go. So I've got that cleaned up, and I've got our new O-ring on there. The problem I have with all these gasket kits is they just give you a whole bunch of gaskets, and you have to kind of figure out which one goes where sometimes. Like, there's all these O-ring gaskets here, and none of them are labeled anything. So how do you know where each one's supposed to go? Obviously, someone else has done their due diligence in figuring out what gaskets you need, but they don't label them for you. It's kind of annoying, in my opinion. So I took the old one, laid out a bunch of them on this bench because I'm running out of space again, and I found the right one that goes right there. Clean this thing up pretty well. Got a lot of the crud off it. Inside's clean still because it was, and now we just get to bolt it to the side of the engine here. Where are we going? Now I'm just going to hand tighten this one for now because I have to get torque specs and verify a few things like what goes there. That'd be good to know. And I have to find a bolt again because I dropped the bolt. There's a bolt down here that is right there, right where I had it. We're in. We are hand tightening this down a bit. It's going to be okay, engine. You're in good hands now. Now I wonder if that, the coolant pump, I wonder if there's a gasket for that as well, which would require me to take that back off. Let's go see if there's anything in that very odd, very distinguished shape in here. I don't see anything in here in that shape at all. This would be the closest one. Then again, we should take it back off and see what the actual gasket looks like. It might not follow that profile. I still don't remember seeing any gasket that shape in there. Let's check. It wasn't leaking before. I don't want to play that game too much, but I don't have any gasket that is that shape with that in there, unless it's supposed to be bent. And if that's the case, no one told me that. So we're going to assume that we did not get a new gasket for that. So what we're going to do is we will take this clean guy here. I'm just going to tap just a touch of assembly grease. Just doesn't love to come off. Just going to get a touch of assembly grease on here. Should be good enough. Just to run around that gasket. That'll just make me feel better. Okay. So, there is no real, no new gasket for that, which is sad and awesome all at once, because A, it's one thing less I have to replace, and B, if it leaks, I know what I have to do, so, yay. That's the other thing, is the gasket kits, you buy an engine gasket kit, and it doesn't come with one of the gaskets you need. Weird. Okay. Gonna leave those very loose, because those are the ones that go all the way through to the block. The lower crankcase. It's not really a block, kind of is. We'll get these ones a little snugger that just hold that the faceplate on, or the cover of the pump on. I don't know. Also, one thing we didn't notice while we were doing this is actually a drain hole right here for that cooling system. We drained it through hoses and then pumped out stuff. We didn't know that was a drain. I didn't see it in the book. Cool, so we've got that. I don't think we have a new seal for over here, but we took that out very easily, very carefully, and we'll oil this up before we put a new one in. Now I gotta go back to the repair manual now and figure out what the next steps are. So stay tuned. I'm gonna keep cleaning up this shop as I go. Man, I need some storage or something. This is getting crazy. Yeah, so Zan will be back. I hope. All right, we've got the manual up over here. And I'm looking at how to assemble these two halves. What we have to do. We have to reinstall the output shaft, crankshaft, pistons, and connecting rods. Camshaft chain dowel pins. Dowel pins, okay. Install the following parts on the lower half, which we already have: the transmission installation, the drum and fork installation, and the shift forks, because that end was done, so we started that. Before fitting the lower case and the upper, check the following. It's in neutral. Did that already. Perfect. Okay. And then apply liquid gasket. Okay, so we have to work on the top end now and assembling everything into the top end. Transmission, crankshaft, connecting rod installation, which is the pistons, everything, getting everything sorted. So we're gonna have to fit pistons into this now. And I'm excited and nervous because I've done not a lot of that in my life. But it's just work, it's just learning. Got my jerky in my hammer drawer in case we need it. And yeah, we're just gonna keep going. I think I need to clean the shop up first before we go any further with this. I need to do a deep dive into this shop tonight and tomorrow and really start getting things organized, as there are parts for different bikes in different places. There's tools everywhere. It's become just get everything done and pick up later, and it's starting to get to me. So for tonight, I think I'm going to call it out here, and we'll get back to it another time after I clean up. Maybe the same video, maybe the next one. So I'm not going to say completely goodbye, but see you soon. How's that sound?